Good afternoon, everyone. So I've received several requests to create videos on how to make the cardstock keychains or cardstock designs for keychains, charms, earrings, whatever you want to use them for. So I will do my best, as this is my first video in regards to this project. I've made several of them, but never thought to upload a video. So let's get this done. My machine is a Cricut Explorer 1. I don't have an Air 1 or 2 or a Maker, so I'm not sure how Design Space looks for you guys who have those machines. So please bear with me. If you do have any questions or any issues, submit them in the comment box below, and I'll do my best to get to every single one of yours and help you out. Okay, so I'm currently now in Design Space. What I will do is, since we are creating a new project, as you can see, there's no title or anything. I'm going to go to my upload. You can see I have some images already, but for the sake of this video, we'll start fresh. So we'll go to upload. If you already know how to do Design Space, you can just fast forward through this part. I'm going to use this wording as I had just previously done a video how I created this. For those of you who didn't see that video, please check my directory. It's a video in regards to how I did this lettering in an app on my tablet by the name of Phonto, Phonto. So I uploaded my photo or my PNG, that's how I save them. I'm going to click on complex and continue. The reason why I'm choosing complex is because you can do a lot more with this setting in regards to cutting and editing and etc. So Design Space will upload my font, my design, which is quite big, so you can see. I have to scroll down, but I will also minimize it so that you guys get a better view. Now, once it's here, you will see there's white and everything in the back. When I saved in PNG in the app called Phonto, I assumed it would save it with a transparent back, but just to avoid any problems, when I get to Design Space, I go up to the top left-hand side, I select and erase, and I click on the background to make sure it's transparent. Now also in regards to my lettering, because I'm going to be doing layers and I do want some shadowing and some shading, overlaying, offsetting, whatever you guys want to call it, I will also remove all the actual typing. So anything in black. You'll understand why in a few minutes. I click continue. And there you go. Now feel free to save it as a print and then cut if you're going to actually use whatever design or coloring that you've created. However, since I use cardstock and I'm going to be using various colors, I'm only going to click it as save as a cut image. And we're just going to change the name of it to Bless Text. And we save that. So now you'll see that it's been saved here, but I also want an image to go with my text for my keychain. So I went back to browse and I'm going to go through my files. Please bear with me as I have a plethora of them. And we will go down here. Let's click this open. And we will go here. Now, just to make a quick video, I will choose one from this file. And I will put a link to the website where I purchase all my Clipart. So I like her a lot. I will keep her. Same thing as I did with the texting. I will select my image type as complex. She is rather large. And this one was already saved as a PNG or SVG, so you'll see that the back is transparent. The work has been done for me. I'll click continue. And I will save her as a print then cut, because I would want to print her out on white cardstock and use the actual image for my keychain. I won't change the image name, I'll keep it the same. And now you can see that she's been uploaded along with my text. So what I will do now is you highlight both, insert the images, and just give it a few seconds. Design Space will upload your text as well as your image. Now they are fairly large, as you can see. And you will see over here also you have an exclamation point and an orange triangle. It's just telling you that it's bigger than the mat for cutting purposes. So of course, either way, I still want to make it smaller. So you will go down to your image, and this little circle helps you to resize. If you already know the height and width that you want to change the size of, here you go. You can add in the numbers yourself. However, I'm not too sure, and so I will just do it manually. And please keep in mind, I'm making a keychain. I like my keychains to be somewhat no longer than 3 inches. And so I will size it up here. Well, I can do that afterwards. Let me just do this for the video. I will also resize my text. And then once everything is created, then I'll resize it to the actual dimensions that I need for cutting. Go like this. I'll go like this. Now, for me, I like to always work with duplicates, so I always make a second copy of everything I'm working with in regards to the original uploads. Move this over here. Excellent. Now, I don't really need anything for her at the moment, but in regards to my wording, because I like shadow behind all my text, I will show you how I achieve that. So as you can already see, it has the words in white with a black shadow in the background. However, if you were to cut this, it's going to cut out the word blessed. So we don't want that. I would like to create a shadow. So like I said, I like to work in duplicates. I will take my duplicate down here. And if you go to the bottom right, it says contour. Click on contour. And I will select all contours. Then you just come out of that and you can see it is completely black. I will go back up again to my original, duplicate that one again, go down here, go back to contour, and then I will only click the top one. Come back out, and then you have this. Since I already have the original of that one, I will delete it. Not a problem. I will be working with these two instead. Now, so as not to get confused in regards to what I'm doing, I will change the color of this one. And you can do that by just clicking on it and changing the color right here. And for the sake of the video, I'll use yellow. What you do after that is you just bring it on top, align it as best as you can, and there you go. What you will do after with all this is that you will highlight it, you will duplicate that as well, move it down, and weld it. Welding means that you've fused everything together. Now, you don't really have to do that step. I just realized it when I looked at it. So I'm going to go backwards. And I want to be really transparent with you guys in regards to the videos that I do. So I'm going to keep the video rolling even with all the mistakes. So I will remove the yellow top layer of the word blessed, hashtag blessed. I will go back to the full shadow and I will duplicate that one and move that to the side. There you go. Like I said, I just like to keep extra copies just in case. So now what I will do is I will, once again, align as best as I can. And there you go. Now for those of you who want another color behind this, there's a way to do that. You take the same shadowing that you did before, and you will change the color of that. Okay, so for example, let's just make it a light purple for now. If you want another layer, you have to duplicate it a few times. Let's say 4 for the sake of it. And then you will put it behind this original one. So put it on top, go to Arrange, click Send to Back, and as you can see, it's now in the back. So if you want to create another shadow, you will just play with these ones and just layer them. Again, another one, Arrange, Send to Back, and just play around with them. Until you find the desired look that you want. You get the idea? So I don't wish to have another layer in the back, so I'm going to delete those ones. Just for the sake of it. There you go. Now what you can also do is you take your design and you move it wherever it is that you need it to be. And you have your beginning of your keychain. Now, if you're happy with the setting or the location of your design, you leave it like that and you'll highlight everything together. Once everything is highlighted, you'll make a duplicate. I move her to the side, and then I'm going to weld these ones together. And as you can see, it's now solid. And like I said previously, welding means to attach, but more like fuse it together so that no matter now where I move it, everything goes together. I will then change the color of this as well. Let's say also yellow or darker yellow. Yeah, I like that. And I will make a few copies of this. Now you can have stopped at this position if you wanted to. Oops, let me just... Oh yeah, let me show you that again. If it's not welded, this is what happens. But you can always go back and reposition them. Now the reason why I've made 2 other duplicates for this one image here and for here is because I want this to have an extra shadow. So to keep everything together, although I haven't welded it because I do want to move it around afterwards. From you highlight everything together, it'll move together. You will see it's behind this full shadow. Again, I click arrange, send it to the front, sorry, and it's in front. But I will move her around so that I can get a little bit of an extra shadow behind her. I take this one as well, and I'm going to do the same thing. And as you can see, that one was already situated behind, so I didn't have to do any arranging. You try to align it as best as you can. And I'm not going to waste too much time showing you exactly, but you will get the idea of. And let's leave it like that for now. Oh, we'll do one more duplicate. The reason why I did an extra duplicate is because at the bottom here I don't see enough yellow. So we will do one more duplicate there. And we will move it a bit. There we go. And so now you can see there's some yellow behind her black hair, and there's more yellow behind the actual wording. Again, I duplicate. I move that over to the side. And then what do we have to do? We will weld it. So now the extra size is done, but if I am to do this separately, you will see that all the layers are there. I will no longer need these ones. This can go wherever it needs to go. See, let me just show you what it's going to look like. And some of you may be saying, why didn't I weld her to the words? It's because I might want to do some tweaking. But you can if you so desire. And there you go. How does she look? Now, in order to create the little hole for the keychain, or charms or earrings or whatever that you need, what you do is you go to your shapes. In this case, yeah, I will just stick with a random circle. You can do this same technique with any of the other shapes. I click on the circle. I will make a duplicate. I will take this duplicate and I will make it small. And I will take the original one and also make it small. Now you make the size of your hole however you want it to be. This would be a keychain. I always like to have my holes for the keychain on the side. Some people put them on the top. But I like for my charms to hang on an angle on my keychains. So what I do is I will make it a bit smaller and align it to the size that I need it to be. I will take this other one and I have to make it a lot smaller. This will be the actual hole that you'll see in the middle where you'll put your jump ring or your keychain hook through. There you go. So what I'll do is I will highlight those two. Oops. Let me do it this way because it's just going to highlight everything else. So I'll move everything over. I will highlight the circles, and what you do is you go down to the bottom right and you click slice. What slice does is it will remove the center of the circle. And the reason why you saw two small pieces is because, remember, we put another circle on top of the bigger one. So both circles got sliced. And then you will have your hole for your keychain ring. Now, it looks like this because, once again, change the coloring. And then you will move it to the back. There you go. What I also do to ensure that when it gets cut, it's attached to the original, is that I weld. And now no matter where I move my background to, they're stuck together. Once again, move to front. Move this one here. Move to front. And again. So for those of you who have any questions or any issues, please feel free to send me a message, add a comment. All information in regards to what I do will be in the description box. This is my first video in regards to how I make the keychains. I will upload other ones as I become more comfortable using YouTube once again. But I do hope that this tutorial has helped you in one way or another. If you have any tips and techniques also that you want to share, please feel free to let me know. If you have any other questions or you want me to do any other projects, just let me know as well, and I'll do my best to accommodate. And there you go. She looks kind of cute. I don't know about you. Now, to make sure she's not going nowhere, I'm going to copy, move it over. Oop, that wasn't right. I'm going to copy the whole thing. And just put it over here. I will eventually get rid of this. It's just that I like to keep stuff visual. And then that's basically it. She's done. Now when you're getting ready to cut, you will separate everything. Oh, sorry. I forgot. We have to resize her. So there you go. So what I do is I highlight her. And I'm going to move her over on the grid so I can get a better idea of what size she's going to be. So for now, she is 3.5 by 3 3/4. And for me, that's a little bit too big. So what I'm going to do is make her a 3 by 3.5. And for me, that is a nice size. Still kind of big. Let me just go a bit smaller then. There we go. So we can do a 2-inch wide by a little bit over 2 inches, sorry. A little bit over 2 inches wide here. That's how wide she's going to be from here to here. And 3 inches long. And that works. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete all these ones, because if you don't, they're going to print out or get cut out. And in preparation for cutting, you move everything where it needs to go. What I do for my keychains is I like to have them somewhat thick, and then I add a coat of UV resin to it. But for my layers, the top one I always leave one, and that could be in gold glitter. It can be in whatever cardstock color you want. You can use iridescent cardstock, whatever it is that you want. I only use one copy of that. For the background itself, I will do, let's say, probably 5. And the reason why I keep things in a different color is because this way they will show up not only on the screen, but when you're getting ready to cut, they can be put onto different mats. I want this also to be raised. I don't want it to just lay flat onto this one when I'm sticking them together, when I'm doing the assembly. So I will duplicate this one another 3 times, but I want it to appear as a outlined or a shadowed word so that it will give it some dimension. And so what I do with these 3 here is that I will make them black. They will get cut out of the same black cardstock that these ones will be. Do you understand? So these will get cut. I will overlap these ones and I'll make it thick. I will have these 3 cut. They will be overlapped. And then this one will be cut in the color, be it glitter, paper, whatever paper I want. And this one colored one will lay on top of this. So it'll even give it more of a 3D shadow technique or effect. This is the actual background of the keychain, and because I want it to be super thick, I will duplicate this as well. Let's say about 6 times. Yeah, 6 times works for me. And this one will be printed out in color because I saved her as a print, as you can see here. All the rest of them have been saved only as a cut, as you can see here. She's a print and cut, but these ones are all cut. Now you don't have to move everything around because when you go to make it, you will see she's already there on the outline to be cut on the size that I've chosen. If you go to mat number 2, you will see everything that will be cut in black. And you have to be careful because I made this mistake several times. You will see there's a red line here. So your paper is not to go to the edge of the margins. This is where your paper will be. And so always double check and move your stuff down. That way it's away from the edges, because this is exactly where the machine will cut, not here. I made that mistake. The machine cuts from here, not from there. And if I was to go to my 3rd one, you will see everything here. Then 4th mat, if you have one, would be this, and only because it's a different shade of yellow that I did not put it onto the same mat as the other ones. If I had kept the blessed in the same shade of yellow, these 2 would be on mat number 3. And that's basically not an issue because it's going to be cut out of colored cardstock. The reason why Design Space does this is so that you can have your mats prepped or your papers prepped, so that way you're not getting everything cut out in the same color. I hope that makes sense. So there you go. I'm not going to press continue because this is not a project I'm going to do right now. I will save it though. Oh, I almost made a mistake too. You have to get rid of anything that you don't want to have cut has to be removed. You can't get mad at the machine if it's cutting out stuff that you didn't erase. So you just double check that the only thing that's on your screen is stuff that you want to have cut. So let me just show you that. Like if I change this to the same yellow as the background, if I went to make it, you will see I no longer have 4 mats. I only have 3, because now that word will be on the same mat. And like I said, Cricut just does that for your convenience, so that way you know which colors will be cut out accordingly. And what I try to do too is on my mat, I try to pre-cut all the paper that I need, stick it onto the mat. Even if it's different colors, I stick it onto the mat according to the grids, and then I don't have to keep on changing the mats themselves. I can just keep on reinserting the same mat, but the machine will move the blade over to the section according to the colors that I need. I will do a video about that next time as well. Alright, so that's basically it, how you make a keychain. It's not all that hard. This was a very simple one. I do a little bit more intricate ones when the mood is right. If you are happy with this video, and I hope I wasn't rambling too much, please like and subscribe and click that notification bell, as I will be uploading several more videos in the upcoming days, since we are on lockdown here in Quebec, Canada. So wishing you all the best. Please stay safe, wash those hands, stay home, and looking forward to working with you again. Bye.